Private and sensitive data is constantly exchanged over the internet by transmitting video, audio, files, and screens. But the risk that this data might fall into the wrong hands exists when you are in the cloud or Skyping. Now, there's an end to this. Thomas got himself the Spreed box, made from beautiful anodized aluminum. Thanks to that, Thomas regains control of his data, because his data is and always will remain on the Spreed box. Up to 6 people can communicate and exchange files safely at the same time. Up to 10 conversations can run in parallel. Using untrusted providers is no longer necessary. Easily, Thomas connects all his devices with the Spreed box. There are no fees, running costs, or subscriptions. And the data hunters will walk away empty-handed. Spreed box, the new generation of private communication.
Hey guys, what is up? It is Carl Planken with Plankens Networking, and today we're going to be talking about a subject I think a lot of people out there need to look up more stuff about. I personally feel a lot of people out there need to focus on this a lot, because I just can't really stress this enough. I think it's really important to have restrictions set for your kids on your computer. A lot of things on the internet today are inappropriate. There's things that should not be on the internet that are on the internet. And keeping your kids away from that, I think, is priority number one, personally, for internet security. So, we're going to be talking about how to keep your kids safe on the internet in this modern world. This is going to be a sub-series of Parental Controls. So Parental Controls is going to be its own series, and then a sub-series of Parental Controls is going to be how to keep your kids safe on the internet, because you can never know too much about this. I'm going to be doing this series for months. I can guarantee that. And that's going to be me posting a video about it at least once a week, if not twice, because I personally think that this is very important. Today we have a few things we're going to show you guys and talk about on how you can keep your kids safe on your computer at home. So the first thing you want to do, and this is going to be perfect for those people that aren't very tech savvy, you're going to want to call your ISP, also known as Internet Service Provider. In most cases, your Internet Service Provider can be your ally, and the reason being is because they can block anything you don't want your kids getting onto from their end. And you don't even have to give them a list of websites or anything. They can automatically block adult content on their DNS servers, making it so that kids, no matter what, cannot get into this unless they pay for a VPN service. So one thing you guys will learn as we go through this, and we'll talk about it more at the end, there is no perfect solution for anything to do with computers. There's always a backdoor everywhere, and if you have a very tech-savvy kid, you're going to want to keep your eyes on them 24/7, or pretty much any time they're on the computer. Okay, the second thing under this topic is some ISPs offer free software to keep your kids safe on the internet. In my case, that is Comcast. Comcast offers Norton Internet Security, and I'm pretty sure, and I'm not positive because I personally don't do it this way, but I'm pretty sure Norton's Internet Security has ways to block adult content on there, or it doesn't allow access to that website if it's malicious. So there is point number one. Now point number two is set rules, and I think a lot of parents out there nowadays don't really do this, and it's kind of sad. I grew up, me personally, in a house where there was rules. I actually was not allowed to have a computer with internet access until I was 17, pretty much. I found ways around it. I connected my neighbor's internet on my laptop, but like I said, there's never any perfect solution for anything. Now, if you don't want your kids being able to connect onto Wi-Fi from their laptops, you can actually uninstall the Wi-Fi driver or disable it so that they cannot get to it. The fact is, like I said though, there really is no perfect solution. They can go on a school computer or something and download that driver, have no issues with installing it. It's fairly easy. So decide how much time you're comfortable with your children being online and which sites they may go to. You might post a short list or even a signed contract next to their computers. You can find some of those at www.safekids.com. so that there's no confusion. Talk to them about the rules and the consequences for breaking them. This is something that I think if a lot of parents do, their kids will get that they can't go on websites that are inappropriate. If they have one pop up on them, they have to come and get you. And I'm not going to say that doesn't happen, you guys. Unfortunately, there's a lot of websites out there that like to make ad revenue. So they post ads on their website, and a lot of cases, inappropriate stuff sneaks its way in there. Yeah, there's filters in that for the people that are hosting those ads on their website, but a lot of times people won't put the time into their website to go through and filter things that are inappropriate like that. So it honestly it depends on the website. And like I said, if you go to safekids.com, you will have a list of websites that should be appropriate for your kids. Okay, the next one's number 3 is browser extensions. There are a ton of web browser extensions that will block inappropriate websites or malicious websites. So for this, you can just simply go into your browser and type in something like Web Filter Pro. I have used this extension before on Chrome. I'm not sure if it's available on Firefox, Internet Explorer, or Opera, or however many there are out there. There are a ton of browsers out there. I'm not sure if this one is available on it, but if you guys aren't using Chrome, I highly recommend you do. Chrome does constant security updates and everything with their browsers. I believe I just know it's a lot. I believe it's at least once a week, maybe twice, every 2 weeks, something like that. They release a lot of updates, so they keep their stuff secure, and I personally am a huge fan of Chrome. So yeah, if you're using Chrome, I would just personally use Web Filter Pro if the extension is the way you want to go. This one's really easy. All you got to do is type in Web Filter Pro in google.com. It'll pop up with it. You add it to your browser, and it'll automatically block inappropriate sites. So we should not be able to access sites that are blocked on this. So to test this, we can go to google.com right now, and we're going to block Google. Now, you don't have to add a block to this, but I'm just going to do this so that you guys can see what it does. It says web access blocked, domain google.com, gives you the address and the category, personal block site. Now, if we had a trust, like I said, there are ways around this. Your kids can come and add a trust. I do believe that this one has a way where you can set a password on it. So yeah, you can enable a password right here, and you just got to type in an email and a password, and it'll let you. So that is a very cool feature with this setting. That'll make it so that your kids can't change it without the extension. Now, if you want to see what it does, for example, let's say your kids try, or maybe it pops up on its own, who knows. Let's say they try to go to playboy.com. This should automatically be blocked, and if it's not, then you can block it. As you can see, it says category, adult material, adult content, web access blocked. Let's try some chat rooms. If we go to a teen chat room, this should automatically be blocked because it's something that a lot of parents do not want their kids doing. If it's not, then simply just come here and click add block, and it's going to say it's blocked after kids refresh this. So if we come back to, sorry guys, my computer is being a little bit slow right now. So if we come back to this, and this is actually a different one. Like I said, we can block this too. And it literally is as simple as that. So it does take a little bit of time with this one. Most things will. So, I'd set aside probably about an hour to just go through things that you see your kids are getting on and block it. So, yeah, we're going to minimize that for now. Now, number 4 on our presentation is the host file. Sorry, you guys, skipped ahead. In every computer running any operating system, in this case, my case, it's going to be Windows, there's this very special tool called the host file. Before accessing anything on the internet, your computer will always read this file first before doing anything. So let's say your kids want to go to google.com, and in your host file, you have it set that google.com redirects to something on your home network, like a website that says, hey, sorry, you can't get to that content. Very easy to set up and very easy to do. The fact is, this is something like it says down here. However, this is a very time consuming, and it is very time consuming, and in most cases where there are a ton of entries, slows down your internet very drastically. So this option is considered to be highly ineffective and time consuming. This is something I personally believe because I have done it with a host file before, and I went and downloaded a host file with stuff for ads blocked, because you really do need to block ads. A lot of times ads have a lot of inappropriate stuff that'll link into that to that website, and the website host doesn't know that or doesn't realize it. So that makes it so things can pop up on your computer without your kids even having to do anything except for go to a website like maybe Apple.com. Maybe Apple has some ads on there, or there's a ton of websites out there that use ads for revenue, and I've said that before in previous presentations. So the next setting is your router. Your router is a very easy way to configure your network to not allow certain things. It also depends on your router, though. Some routers will allow certain settings, but not other settings. So, for example, my router, to configure, I go to 192.168.1.1. Now, to figure out what you need to do to configure your router, you want to go to the default gateway. To find this, just right-click on your start menu and click Run. Type in CMD and then type in IP config. Now, your default gateway, which is going to be your router, is going to be the last option on there. So you're going to want to type in whatever this number is right here. Then you're going to want to log in, and you're going to want to go to Access and Restrictions. Now here, on mine at least, yours will differ unless you have a Cisco router or a Linksys router. They usually are about the same. Now, 90% of the time, I will be honest with you, it will look almost exactly like this. It just might not have this menu, for example. It might not have stuff like this on here. So here, I have clients blocked. I assign static IP addresses to all my clients on my network. Now, to do this, you just simply go into your network settings in this corner, and you're going to want to click on Change Adapter Settings, choose your network adapter, go to Properties, and then select IPv4 unless you use IPv6, which is highly unlikely. I'm pretty sure most networks, a lot of people are just going to go with IPv4. It's a lot easier to configure, so that's what I do on my personal network. As you can see, I have a IP address set here. It's automatic, so that it doesn't grab one automatically. I know what the IP address is, and then I can just come in here and edit the list of clients that are denied access to the internet. As you can see, I have one right here. 192.168.1.13 does not have any access to the internet. That is this computer right here. So as you see, if we come here and we try to go to the home page, it won't load. If we try to go to google.com, it is not going to load at all. So you can come here and you can block clients from the internet every day on certain days, or you can actually just come here and go to blocked websites. Let's say we want to block a website on our network. We're going to want to click here and give it a name. We're going to do tutorial. We'll just do parental controls, actually. Controls. We're going to want to enable it. We're going to want to edit the list. Let's say 12, because that's the IP address of this computer. We'll put 12. You can also do an IP range of users that aren't allowed to do stuff, as is done right here. I apparently actually already have something set up on this one. So I'm actually not going to save this, just because I don't want to screw something I have set up already. Now, these users are allowed internet every day, but certain things are blocked. So we can block any kind of protocol we want. We can block websites. and it's really easy to do. Now, if your router doesn't have, as you guys can see, there isn't really any way on here to kind of configure things advancedly. This being where like it automatically blocks websites like WebFilter Pro does. If you want something like that for your router, I highly recommend buying a cheap computer off of eBay, wherever it is. Just a $20 computer. It's got to have at least maybe like a gig of RAM and like a gigahertz Pentium 4 processor and like a 20 gig hard drive. It does not have to be anything super fast. It can be an old junky computer from maybe like Desert Industries or somewhere like that, or like a thrift store around you, or a computer repair shop that just has some cheap computers. It really just depends on what's in your area. If you want to do something like that, you can set up something like IPCOP, which is awesome router software. This software basically is a firewall for your network, and I highly recommend it for a lot of people that want to do stuff like this for their kids, because it will absolutely block anything you don't want your kids going to. It has so many ways to do this, and honestly, it's just really simple to set up, and it's just really simple to do. It has tons of things you can make it do. Now, for this, you will need a few things. So you will need a cheap computer. On this computer, you're going to want to make sure you have 3 extra NIC cards. You're going to want to make sure they're at least gigabit so that you're getting decent internet speeds. But if you don't get gigabit internet anyways, I won't worry about getting gigabit NICs. You can find some network cards, which is what I mean by NICs, on eBay for like $5, super cheap, no big deal. They have the disc with the drivers and everything in them. 90% of the time you don't even need it, because this is a Linux distro and they almost always have drivers for stuff like this. So I highly recommend IPCOP if you guys want to do it this way. I personally am not doing it with IPCOP just because I don't have an extra computer laying around right now. But I've actually been considering doing this, and I've looked a lot into it, and I think it is a very, very great option for those of you that are having trouble with stuff like this. Now, like I said before, this isn't a perfect solution. Kids can actually change their DNS if they're text heavy enough, and it'll bypass everything on IPCOP, or they can also do VPN servers. Now, one way to also backfire at this is there are a lot of DNS servers out there that will not allow access to inappropriate websites. They go through and they block thousands and thousands of inappropriate websites. You can look up free DNS servers that block adult content or block inappropriate content on Google, and I guarantee you'll find some that are free. The only problem with this is most of the time they contain ads. If you download AdBlock, that does fix the problem with the ads, but a lot of times it won't get every ad. They even say they won't do every ad unless you check a certain option on there. So if you're having issues with that, I would contact your ISP and just see if they have one you can use from them, because a lot of times they don't have ads. Okay, so in conclusion today, you guys, you have to realize no system is perfect, and there's always going to be a backdoor somewhere. Your best option is to ensure that you monitor what your kids are doing. Anytime they grab that mouse or keyboard or phone or tablet or iPad, it doesn't matter what it is, make sure you know what they're doing. You guys, another thing you can do just to log everything your kids do, and I actually didn't even think to add this into the presentation, download a keylogger. There's a lot of free ones out there that are really good, require passwords to view the logs, and are hidden, so your kids don't know that you're actually doing that. I personally use one on my own computer, not really to log anything that's done on my computer. I just use one to just log everything that's done on my computer. Not because I'm worried about my kids or anything, but because I'm worried that, maybe there's something going on my system I don't know about. So I like to check those regularly. So yeah, you guys, that is all for today's presentation. I really hope that you guys are able to learn something from this, maybe take something that you can use in your own network. If not, you guys, I will be posting some more videos of some other ways you can do this. I think this is a topic that needs to be covered more on YouTube by more tech people on YouTube, like PC Addicts, Linus Tech Tips, Tech Syndicate. There's a ton of people out there that know a lot about computers that could do a simple tutorial on how to keep your kids safe on the internet. The sad thing is, I just don't see a lot of those on there, so I thought I would start a series about that. I really hope you guys like this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, share with people that you think this might help, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later, and peace out.